Hey, what's up? This is Jake from Chestnut Kama, your friend in chess. And we have a match here today. This was in the finals of the first Fischer Random World Championship in 2019 between Wesley So and Magnus Carlsen. We are going to look at this game here as a prelude to the incoming FIDE Freestyle Chess World Championship that will happen in a couple of days from now in Weissenhaus, Germany. So let us not miss that event because it's a great event for the chess community. So this was the game six in the finals. Two games were drawn and three games won by Wesley at this point. Now for Magnus, this was his last shot to at least extend the match and have some fighting chances going forward. So let's go. Let's see how this game unfolds. Here, Wesley is playing white while Magnus is playing black. This is the starting position of the game 6, as you can see. The a7 pawn and the a2 pawns are the only pawns that are not defended by any piece on the board. So Wesley goes f4, attacking immediately the a7 pawn. By the way, this is a rapid game with 15 minutes and 4 seconds increment. So this pawn, e7 pawn, is attacked by this dark square bishop of white. So Magnus defends this by going knight b6, blocking the attack of this dark square bishop. Knight b3 by Wesley, d5 by Magnus, e4 by Wesley here, attacking in the center. D takes e4, and here Wesley captures with a queen. So Wesley's queen here immediately goes into the center. Unlike the normal position of chess where there's a knight here on g8, black can go knight g6 and attack the queen immediately with a tempo, and this is kind of a wasted move by white here. But in this position right here, there's no threat for this queen here as for the moment. So this is kind of safe for white. Magnus continued with knight f d7, knight e3 by Wesley, c6 now by Magnus, looking to develop his dark square bishop on c7. Wesley develops his own dark square bishop. He goes bishop f2, bishop c7 by Magnus, knight f5 by Wesley, attacking both the pawns here. Magnus saves this pawn. He goes a6, and Wesley captured the g7 pawn. Magnus continued queen f8, attacking the knight. Knight jumps to h5 by Wesley. h6 by Magnus, looking to develop his last square bishop and attack the queen. Bishop e2 by Wesley, and Magnus proceed to bishop h7, attacking the queen. Queen goes to f3. Rook g8 by Magnus, looking at this semi-open file here, which is always better for rook. Knight d3 here, looking to challenge this bishop. Magnus goes bishop g6, attacking instead the knight. So Magnus is saying, if you want to trade bishop, I want to trade here so that I can develop my pawn and connect the pawns here and go for attacks should you castle, which happened in the game. Wesley takes the bishop on g6, pawn captures the bishop, attacks the knight. Knight goes to g3, and here, as you can see, this pawn is left with only one defender, the queen. Since the knight on h5 which was protecting this pawn on f4, was attacked by this pawn, so it had to go to g3, and now here Magnus captured the pawn on f4. Here Wesley continued to castle kingside, g5 by Magnus, starting to attack on the kingside. Knight e2 by Wesley, since this bishop here is looking dangerous for white, so Wesley decided to take this bishop out of the game by playing knight e2. And here Magnus decided to sacrifice this bishop. He goes e5. He actually trapped this bishop here. Maybe he was planning to, okay, I'll just sack my bishop and capture with this pawn so that I'll get 3 pawns and maybe I'll get a better attacking chances. That was probably what he was thinking. And so g3 by Wesley here. Bishop can take this pawn if Magnus wanted to, but he decided to really sack that bishop and he went for long castle. Wesley captured the bishop and Magnus proceeded with his plan, capture with the e pawn. He takes f4 and Wesley exchanged more pieces on the board. Pawn captures b6. Rook be1. Knight e5 by Magnus, attacking the queen. And Wesley goes queen c3, counter-attacking this knight here on e5. Magnus defends it with queen d6. And here we have knight e d4 by Wesley, opening up the attack to this knight here. g4 by Magnus. He continues the attack since Swiss king is a bit open here. There's only one pawn that's protecting the king. And here in this position, probably Magnus missed this knight e5 move by Wesley. Knight e5, attacking the queen at the same time, opening up the attack to this knight by both the queen and the rook. Now, both of these pieces are hanging, so Magnus goes knight f3 first, for king, with a check to the king. King slides to h1 by Wesley, and here Magnus goes queen d7. And Wesley continued to play knight e7, checking, forking the king, the rook. So king has to go to b8. Wesley captures the rook, and Magnus also captured the rook on e1. And here Wesley had an idea. He did not recapture this knight here with his rook. He first goes queen e5 with a check, king a8 by Magnus, and here knight goes back to s6 with a tempo to the queen, and this knight here cannot be defended. Queen cannot take this pawn since there's a knight here. It would be a different scenario if Wesley went immediately with, say, knight f6 before going queen e5, because Magnus can go queen e7 and protect his knight here. So this knight is safe. It's protected by the queen. So instead, queen e5 check by Wesley, and then king e8, and then after which Wesley went for knight f6 with a tempo to the queen, and queen has to go queen c7 in case Wesley takes to the queen, and then Magnus can take the knight here. But you would think that at this moment Wesley will take the knight, right? For sure. If you're white here, if you're Wesley, take the knight and have 2 pieces up versus Magnus only queen and the rook, right? But no, Wesley had another idea. which was the number one engine move. Rook takes on f4, and here, in this position right here, Magnus decided to resign. He probably thought he cannot defend this rook a4 incoming. Rook a4 checks the king, mate in one. Oh, what do you do here if you're black? Well, you could say, why not play b5? But white can go a4 anyway. Rook a4. You capture with a pawn, and here queen a5 with a check, king b8. You capture the rook with a check, king a7, and here we have knight c5, and black is in danger here. Just depends on whatever black plays. White can then go knight f d7 or knight c d7, and this king is defenseless. Let's just say black goes knight takes c2. And here we have, check first. King b7, knight c d7 with a check. The only square available for black's king is c8. Then you go queen e8 check, king c7, and queen d8 checkmate. So there's nothing black can do here, and so Magnus decided to resign the game, and Wesley won the final match, and won the tournament, the first Fischer Random World Championship way back in 2019. So yeah, what a wonderful performance by Wesley in this tournament, beating Magnus and winning the first Fischer Random World Championship. In this final, Wesley did not even let Magnus win a single game. According to Magnus himself, he was very disappointed on his performance in the finals against Wesley. Well, what can he do? It was just that Wesley was playing at the top of his game here. Yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and have fun playing chess.